6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
The Ramble with Alex Bennett. Tonight at 10:30 Eastern on GabNet.
Want all the latest information on GabNet programs? Simple. Log on to gabnet.net. There you can listen to the network stream, catch up on recent GabNet programs you may have missed, and get information about upcoming GabNet events. There's even a convenient one-click call button to make calling live GabNet programs easy, and special links to all GabNet programming on iTunes. It's gabnet.net. It's everything you need to stay in touch with the Great American Broadcast Network.
Jack Bishop's Intersection, tonight at midnight Eastern on GabNet.
Talk like you've never heard it before is now talk like you've never seen it before. Alex Bennett's Ramble is now in video. Log on to Alex's Facebook page at facebook.com/abennett every Tuesday through Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern and experience the Citizen Panel like never before. We put a face to people like Phil, Patrick, Renee, Kevin, Tony, Jeff, Bree, Brian, and all of our regulars. And Alex is there too in his PJs. Just be glad he isn't naked. You can be one of those people who gets seen and not just heard by calling into Skype. For more information on how to Skype us, just go to gabnet.net. You can dress any way you want, provided it's decent. GabNet is now not just talk and not just a pretty face. So why don't you add yours? Spotify has 180 million monthly users and access to 35 million songs and podcasts. Now, all those offerings are going to have to move over and make room for GabNet programming. Yes, at long last, Alex Bennett's Ramble, Damian Chaplin's Exchange, Jack Bishop's The Intersection, and even the franchise MC's Arena and Michael Snyder's weekly movie reviews will be fighting for space on this massive platform. Each day, the programs are updated, so you can hear them on the Spotify app, available for all smartphones and game consoles. Or you can just go to Spotify on the web at spotify.com. So, give us a shot on Spotify. There's a 35 million to 5 chance we'll get people to listen to talk like they've never heard it before.
In 2013, after 9 years, Alex Bennett got let go by SiriusXM satellite radio for reasons yet to be known. Was it his salary? Was it his advancing years? Or did he just suck? The truth will never be known. Last year, SiriusXM, knowing that their old and rusting satellites were yesterday's technology, bought into the internet by taking over the streaming service Pandora. Well, we suppose that Alex has finally snuck his way back into the SiriusXM orbit, presenting Alex Bennett's Ramble on Pandora. Get Pandora and get Alex, but don't tell SiriusXM. If they know he's there, they might dump him again. The Ramble from GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this podcast.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hello, everybody. This is Alex. This is the Ramble. That's what it says, right? We'll be here until midnight tonight. Let me see here. Let me push the right buttons. See, when I go away for about 2 weeks, I forget how everything works these days. It just, but excuse me. So we had a little about 10 seconds before the show started of just the Gabnet whirling around. But you can get used to that, can't you? Yeah, you can. Okay, listen, we're gonna go talk to a friend here. Let me admit him into the into the Zoom thing, and let me see here. Turn on your camera, Phil. There we go, and then I simply go like this, and there we go. Hello, Phil.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, it's our Tuesday night get together.
Yeah.
Which everybody says they enjoy. They say they enjoy this better than when you were on with everybody else.
Well, they enjoy the bitch session that you get from 10 o'clock on, and let them enjoy it, or not 10 o'clock. Was it
10:30 now?
10:30, yeah.
And I'm thinking of moving it to 11:30 and just going on for 15 minutes.
Just throw in some more promos.
Huh? Throw in more promos. Just run promos for an hour.
Yeah.
And then do the show.
I've been at home a lot more because of the COVID running around and everything's closed down. And I watch a lot of YouTube lately.
Yeah, me too.
And it's enough with the commercials, but what I'm watching stuff like reviews on pants. I was looking at a pair of pants, and it's for shooting, and the guy's got 366,000 followers, and you ask yourself, what the hell is this guy doing?
Yeah, why have I got like 3, and this guy is putting up pictures of pants, videos of pants?
You see him show you the pockets and the zipper and how what the fit is like, and I'm saying to myself, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. I've been looking for something like that to do, something that would, actually I should turn this way, although then I can't see you, see? Because then it looks like I'm actually talking to you, see?
Yeah, on the Zoom, I'm on the bottom, you're on the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the Zoom. Now, maybe that's the way I'm...
actually, you should make your Zoom window larger.
Oh,
Make it slightly larger. Just pull it out, and you'll see, and all of a sudden, you'll be side by side with me.
Isn't pulling out. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I can move it.
No. They pull it out to the side.
Yeah.
Or down at the corner. Just enlarge it.
Yeah.
And you'll see that you'll get the side by side.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just.
That's what I finally had to do here.
Full screen, but no, I see you on
really
on YouTube. You like this?
Yeah. But, that's the way we are. Right. Anyway.
Zoom.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, with iTunes, I tune in to YouTube.
Yeah.
I've just been looking at it and going, hey, maybe I should just do something really just simple. I mean, people do things like unboxing a new toy or something, and they get like 100,000 viewers.
I know. It's amazing.
No, I got to do something that embraces being an old fart and say, an old fart looks at, and then make it something like really hip.
Well, fabulous protest songs of the 60s.
Or an old guy tries to figure out how this thing works.
Yeah. It's amazing, because when you start looking at that, one of the things I look at is, well, how many followers does this guy have?
Yeah.
How many subscribers?
Yeah.
And, I'm seeing enormous numbers, for people that they put you to sleep if you listen to them for more than 5 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you what drives me crazy is, and this is where I'm thinking of trying to fill the gap. I go to places like, I want to find out certain things about OBS. So somebody will do something called everything you want to know about OBS, and then they will give you instructions on how to do stuff, but they're going so fast,
right?
And they are not doing a good job of explaining it.
Yeah.
And I just think I could come up with a better way of explaining stuff.
Well,
So
you're a communicator.
yeah, so that people could understand it, you know. But some of these things I look at and I go, oh, fuck him. You know, he's not teaching me anything. He's just confusing me.
Yeah. Well, there are people on there. It's like watching paint dry, but they're talking, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers. The other thing that I like to look at is this podcast called Living the Van Life. Now, this guy's on YouTube, and his whole thing is he goes out in his VW van. He goes to an area where it's snowing in Oregon or Washington. He pulls into a parking lot where no one else is, puts up his awning, starts to cook a meal, and he cooks the meal. He's got almost 1 million followers. Living the van life. Now, granted, he's kind of interesting. You watch 4 or 5 of them, and and you're ready to kill yourself. But
yeah. Well, I mean, but they do all these things. They do things like the 10 best James Bond movies ever. And then they take clips from the James Bond movies and they run them, and then they run their commercials beforehand, and they get monetized. And I'm wondering, how are they getting monetized? They're using copyrighted material. That's what I don't get.
Not only are they doing that, they'll run a commercial at the beginning. Right after the commercial is a video commercial. And then 3 or 4 minutes, a few minutes into the thing is another commercial, sometimes 2 in a row.
Right.
Living the van life guy, he must be making a lot of money because he's got like 6 or 8 commercials every time, throughout his thing.
Well, anyway, so what's happening in Georgia tonight? I haven't looked at. The last thing I looked at, it looked like the Democrats were just a hair ahead.
The Democrats were a hair behind a few minutes ago, but then I just looked at Drudge, and the headline is Warnock projected to win Senate seat. So I don't know if you can see this. But he was behind Loeffler, not a lot. Loeffler was behind almost all night, and just within the last 5 or 8 minutes, she pulled ahead. Now, I don't know if she's still in that position.
She doesn't deserve to win because she's really been a very lazy senator. They say she's really done a really lazy job of it.
Well, she may be lazy, and she may not deserve to win. But if she doesn't win, even if she doesn't win, the Republicans with Purdue will remain in power. But it's nice to have that one extra vote.
Well, Purdue, when I saw the last time, Purdue was behind 2, but it was just by a hair, by about 1%. And all the votes are not in. They're not going to be in.
Karl Rove ran some numbers, and if he's correct, the Republicans will win by about 90,000 votes.
Yeah, but he's not always right. I mean, he's been kind of wrong a lot in the past years, and they've assailed him for that. I mean, you go over to Fox, they're going to parse it one way. You go over to MSNBC, they're going to parse it another way, and nobody knows who's going to win this thing because it's really close. It's a squeaker.
The channel selector for MSNBC is broken on my TV.
Oh, is it really?
I can't tune to it.
I see.
It won't let me.
It won't let you. We don't want you. That's the reason why. We don't want you.
Let's see what else is going on. And, it was one thing that struck me yesterday. The Antifa protesters. Antifa. Well, they don't exist. I mean,
Well, they really don't. And I saw you. I know who you're going to talk about is this guy Hawley down in where's Florida, right?
No, he's in like North Carolina or South Carolina.
And he went around claiming that Antifa was attacking his wife and children.
I saw the video.
No, you can see all you want to. The fact is, the police went over and said nothing was happening. There was some chalk on the sidewalk, and there was a guy with a bullhorn, and they asked them to hold it down, so they quieted it down, and that it was nobody was being attacked.
Somebody said that they were trying to break in the front door. I
No.
saw them in front of the front door, but I
No.
couldn't see.
No, they were protesting in front of the guy's home, which, you can argue whether you should do that or not. I would err on the side of not. Okay, but nevertheless, it wasn't Antifa trying to get this guy. This guy, had been in the Senate for how many years? A couple of years, about 2 or 3 years, and he wants to run for president next time. And so he's trying to make himself look like a hero, and it's a big lie. I mean, it's fake news. Okay, no matter which way you want to parse it. Plus, he's an asshole. He's a real asshole. What?
Hawley wasn't there. I think he was in Washington D.C., but his wife and his 7-week-old daughter were there, and they were terrified.
Well, if they felt threatened by the fact there were people out in front of their place protesting,
they were at the front door. They were on.
Do you have video of them at the front door?
Video at the front door. I saw it tonight. They had a Christmas wreath on the front door, and the protesters were. The wreath was flopping back and forth. I think they were banging.
I'll have to go look for that video.
Yeah.
Because I'm not taking your word for it. In spite of the fact that I know everybody wants to have a drink, I don't want to prove you wrong yet.
Okay. Well, give it a try. Oh, by the way, I got one now.
You got one too? What's your temperature right now? Right now. Do it.
7.2.
7 what?
97.2.
Yeah. That thing always airs on the side of.
Now it's 98.3.
Oh, well. Let's see. Well, where'd you put it though?
Just at my temple.
No, don't put it at your temple. Put it at your forehead.
Oh.
Your forehead, right? Now do it. Now what does it say?
98.
98. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'll go get mine. We can't be. We can have a shootout here.
Mm-hmm.
Put your hands up.
All right.
Yeah. There you go. Well, let me test you here a second.
All right. Yeah.
Oh well, you're 94-1. No, but let's see here. What,
does that mean I'm dead?
Let me see. 99-1. What is this?
That's from the hat.
Huh?
Probably from the hat.
Probably from the hat. Yeah, I would say. 98-4.
Well, that's normal.
Wait a minute. I gotta. 98.5. Now wait a minute. But if I do the temperature here, the thermometer, which is actually the thermometer is better than that thing.
Yeah.
I do the thermometer, and
I'd have dead air if I went inside and got mine.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. 98.3. Wow.
Well, that's pretty accurate. I mean, 98.4, 98.5.
I'm in this room and it's a little hot right now, so
And then the other thing. I mean, thank God for Amazon here. I got one of these, and it'll tell you your oxygen level.
No, really.
Yeah, 93. That's low.
Do you know with the new Apple Watch you can do that?
Yes. Yeah. This was $14.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, I'm 97% on the oxygen, and 70. My heartbeat is 79. So
let me see.
Yeah. Now it went down to 96. Where you're sucking the air out of the room.
98.3. Let me see here. 98.4. Wow. Huh.
Well, that's what the other one read.
97.7.
All right.
97.9. Yeah. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm all right. I'm not. But don't get me started, because then I'll take my temperature every 5 minutes. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, I do. I get up in the morning. The first thing I do is check my temperature. I check my oxygen. And I do the where was it? I put that thing on my arm, blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And lately it's been good.
So this morning I woke up. It was the end of a what do you call it? An auction I was involved in.
Oh.
To try and get Gabnet.com.
Oh. Nice. Did somebody give it up?
Somebody gave it up, and it was they were having an auction on it.
So was anyone else bidding?
Oh yeah.
Who would bid on GabNet?
Well, who knows? I mean, it could be somebody who wants to compete with me, although it's a stupid idea that, this is Gabnet.net. This is not Gabnet.com. Okay.
Or Jim Browning, maybe.
Huh?
Jim Browning.
Jim Browning, right. It could be somebody, could be like some graphics company that's GAB, and they wanted it. But somebody wanted it enough that I lost it because they went up to, I think it went for $619. And
really?
I didn't want to go that high. I was willing to go 300, but I didn't need it that much.
No, you don't need it at all. I mean, you've done a good job with .net. Gabnet.net sounds better than Gabnet.com.
Yeah, right. That would confuse people, oddly enough.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I do have, however, GabNetLive.com. In case I ever want to use it. And if you type in gabnetlive.com, it rolls over to Gabnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you to get Gabnet TV, and you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Where?
And
I don't think I have Gabnet TV.
Because you were originally going to use Gabnet something else.
Where I have Gabnet TV is on Roku.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were originally going to set up the Roku with some other Gabnet something or other, and I said, why not Gabnet TV? And
but I don't have Gabnet TV as a URL.
Yeah.
Although I might do that. Why not? It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
If there
once in a while I come up with a good one.
Yeah.
Like Gabnet Live.
Yeah. And I also have alexbennett.com.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm covered, but I also figure, how long am I going to live? So how long do I need this for? If I were like in my 35, maybe I'd go and I would have spent anything it took to get that other URL.
Yeah, I don't know. That it's worth having.
Yeah,
you're better off with another thermometer.
Yeah, probably. Let me see. Has my temperature gone down at all? 98.6. What?
97.9. 97.9. No COVID here.
Really? 97.5. I did it further away. I did about here. This is about the distance you should do it, I think.
Oh, your body's colder than
mine. 98.4.
98 even. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but every time you do it, it's different. 98.5.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Closer, it's 98.5. Further away, it's
try it really close.
97.9. Supposedly, it's supposed to be about this far away from you. So,
I was 98.3 when I was that far.
Yeah, so 98.1. Yeah. Oh,
So you got any other TV shows, movies, things that you'd recommend?
You know what I saw that's terrific? The best documentary I think I've seen in a long time is on Hulu, and it's a documentary on Roger Ailes. Huh. And I mean, it is terrific because by the end of it, you want to go take a bath. You want to go take a shower. You just feel so filthy.
It was anti-Ailes.
Well, it isn't anti-Ailes. It is Ailes. I mean, this guy was not a nice guy.
Yeah.
This guy, when it came to women, was using his position to get laid. You know, but it wasn't to the extent of, hey, I got a radio show. Hey, you want to fuck me? And they go no, and you say okay. No, this was, you want a bigger job here at Fox. You got to blow me. I mean, that's what it came down to.
Yeah. Now, did they say who actually, paid the price? What women?
They I don't think they named names, but they indicated that if you had a job at Fox and you were doing a show there, you probably had to at one time or another have done something for him. Okay. So
what do you think Sean Hannity had to do?
He didn't have to do anything. The guys were they were the ones that got laid as a result of it, because It wasn't just that he would say to a woman, "Well, if you're good to me, I'll give you a job." He says, "But you also have to have fun with a couple of my friends too."
Well, that's a good guy.
He passed the wealth around, and who knows who took advantage of that.
Yeah. Well,
but it's a great documentary. It's one of the best I've seen, and not because it goes against him, but I just never realized how terrible it was what he did. And it's a very good documentary.
Yeah. Well, that would be interesting. I forgot about Hulu. I used to use Hulu for my regular TV, and then I switched to YouTube TV, which I like.
Yeah.
But I forgot all about Hulu, and I think there's a couple of versions of Hulu. You can get like a limited version.
Well, no, I have the Hulu without commercials.
Oh, okay.
And I can't stand having commercials in shows anymore. I even took Peacock, and I got it for $4.99 to see what it was like. And now I went for the one for $9.99 just so I don't have to have commercials. And I find I'm watching it more.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the commercials either. The YouTube, the one thing that I'm starting to really dislike is the commercials because they're...
Well, you know what I hate? They don't put them in the right place. Yeah. Okay? It's just, it interrupts just anywhere it wants to. There's a commercial. Right. And after about 5 seconds, you can get out of it, but it's annoying. You know,
I have to sit there with the button.
I mean, if they offered me a service on YouTube where I could watch all these things without a commercial, I would do it. You
don't?
No, I don't think so. No, you can buy a service they have. It's like, I don't know, YouTube Red or something like that. But it doesn't mean that you still don't get commercials on the normal YouTube.
I had the YouTube Red for a very short period of time to watch Cobra Kai. Not Cobra Kai. What do they call that? The Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's Karate Kid? And then on Netflix the other night, season 3 of Karate Kid was on Netflix.
Karate Kid were a series of 3 movies.
No, this is 3 seasons
of something.
It's
Kung Fu.
You mean
what?
It's the modern version of Karate Kid, all grown up.
Oh.
The protagonist and the villain get together, and the Japanese guy's dead.
Yeah.
And so it's taken it to 30 years later.
Okay.
And it's cute.
I don't care about that.
But I'm invested now. I got 3 seasons.
You're invested? Oh.
Well, the first 2 seasons you had to have Red, and then the 3rd season came out on Netflix, and so I didn't have to sign up for Red.
Yeah, Netflix has everything. But also, I mean, I love the Disney Channel, Disney Plus, very good. Mandalorian, just terrific show, just a terrific show. And then they've got like 9 episodes of Mandalorian shows called Gallery. With Disney's Gallery, The Mandalorian, and they tell you how they did it. And it's just fascinating. I mean, the kind of work they put into it and the kind of loving of the Star Wars thing that they had. And it's great. It's just
I've
great.
only seen one Star Wars in my life, and you recorded it for me on a VHS tape and gave me a copy of a bootleg Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars was one of the first bootleg tapes running around.
Yeah. So and you booted it one more time for me on a VHS, and I recorded over it.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, hey, listen, good to see you again. Welcome to the new year, and
I think it's going to be a good one, but not for Dr. Dre.
No, he just had a aneurysm.
Right, an aneurysm.
Wow.
Now, I think he's just trying to mess with his wife that he's divorcing because she wants too much money. But
well, if he dies from this thing, she'll get all of it. So she's probably out there praying.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
no, yeah. But hopefully this year will be better. But when people thought that, hey, the new year's here, thank God 2020 is behind us. Well, we don't know how much. We don't know.
Nothing's going to change.
We don't know how much 2021 is going to suck.
But
You
nothing's
know.
going to change. But you know what? You had quoted somebody, and I don't know who it was you quoted, but now that's all I can think about is somebody died. Was on his deathbed,
Mm-hmm.
and he said his last words were, "Is that all? Is this it?"
Marlon Brando.
Oh, is that it?
What was that all about?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's what he said. What was that all about?
Who said is this it?
Yeah, well, that's was Brando. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think about that more now than I have in other stuff.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes last night I dreamt about what would if I wasn't here tomorrow, what would go on?
Well, I just figure my last words to Margie will be, "So what's for dinner?"
Yeah.
Anyway, gotta go because these other people want to talk, and we don't want to.
They want to bash Trump, but
Thanks for being here on New Year's, and listen, we'll do this again next week, right?
Sounds good. See you
Okay,
Tuesday.
ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. That's Phil Meyer, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Anyway, it's time now for me to switch over to the citizen panel. And there are a couple of people waiting to come in, so let me admit them. There are just like two of them, but maybe others will be calling. So let's see here. Who's coming here? Here we go. Let me see here. Admit Alan. There we go. Admit Alan. And let me see here. We got, there's Alan and there's Charlie. And okay, I'll go to the Zoom panel. There they are. Hello, everybody. How are you this evening?
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Great.
Yeah. Here, Robert Natali is showing up. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Admit him.
2021. Woohoo!
Yeah, right.
Boom.
Don't say woohoo yet. It's like I said, who knows if it isn't going to be just as shitty a year as the last year. Or
Sarcastic.
maybe even worse, All of a sudden, we'll find out the vaccine doesn't work, and because we're having trouble with getting the vaccine out there.
Yeah, in the arms is taking a while.
Yeah.
No plan. They have a plan. We have a great plan to get this distributed, through the armed forces, whatever he said, but then that's just to get it distributed. But then, where is it? How's it going to get into everybody's arm?
Yeah. Well, Operation Warp Speed. Yeah. It's really.
Has anybody here got it yet?
No.
No. And nobody here has gotten COVID yet either.
I got online. I'm in line for it, but
yeah, except if Tony were to call, Tony has had COVID. Has COVID, so
right.
What, Jeffrey? Jeff, turn on your mic. Mic time. There you go, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
What?
Tony has COVID. Who's going to get it tomorrow?
Yeah, Tony's COVID.
He's going to get what tomorrow?
They're going to get injected tomorrow.
Why?
Okay. What?
What? For what reason? Well, he is.
Because they live in Florida.
Tony? No, Tony doesn't live in Florida.
No, but I'm talking people in Florida get their medications because there's a lot of Republicans who will never take it.
No, okay, all right. But wait a minute, what'd you say about Tony? I thought you said Tony got it.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. I think he might be able to get it because one of the groups that's being given are people who take care of people in homes.
Caregivers.
Yeah, but he's already had COVID. Not going to do him any good.
Yeah, what's the point?
I think we have yet to figure out if there's an immunity, how much of an immunity there is from having it.
Mm-hmm.
That it's better if you take the shot as well, when it's available.
After the COVID's over with.
Yeah, right.
They won't give it to him while he's got active COVID.
Right. So but but I'll tell you, I got a note from some woman, God, who I guess I knew when I was working here in New York at WPLJ years ago. She says I knew her. A lot of women I brought home. Okay. But she wrote me and said that she's one of the long haulers, and she's been almost long hauling for a year now. Long hauling is when you, it's not a sexual term, is when you get COVID and then you have these after effects. And
migraine headaches and really bad.
Breathing problems.
Yeah.
I thought Trucker Steve was a long hauler.
Well, that too. Boom, bam. Anyway, so. But it's gonna be an interesting year. It's gonna be interesting to see if you survive it. How you doing, John? You were ill there for a while.
Yeah, I'm good. Feeling well. I still got this fucking shingles though. That it's not as bad as it was, but it won't go away.
They should be able to get rid of that. I mean, there is medicine for that.
Yeah, there's a vaccine.
There isn't, you say, Alan? Alan's nodding his head.
No, there's not. There's nothing. He's right. There's a vaccine to prevent you from getting it.
They told me not to get the vaccine yet, to wait till it goes away or something like that. I don't know.
Well, it's funny. I had shingles. I had it on my eye and so on. And I had a doctor up in Mendocino, besides giving me some great weed, gave me some pills to take, and it went away. So there is some medicine that you can take that does lighten it. Okay, and
mine lasted 1 month, exactly 1 month.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and it was from here to my waistline, from here all the way around to the middle of my back.
Well,
that one section.
Mine was just on my eye.
Did it hurt?
Around
Brian? Did it hurt?
Yes, dude. It hurt to breathe.
Yeah, well, this
couldn't have a shirt on.
This hurt
couldn't have a
like
shirt
crazy,
on.
and so I went to this doctor who my girlfriend up there worked for, and he said, "Oh, you've got shingles. Here's a prescription." And I went. I filled the prescription, and I took a full course of it, and it went away. So I don't know, but
most shingles goes away on its own.
Yeah.
The older you get, the more chance you have of it lasting longer and stuff like that. So
it's a virus like herpes,
Mm-hmm.
like when some people get like cold sores and stuff like that. It keeps coming back. That's kind of like what it is.
Yeah, well, when I first heard about shingles, I thought it was something you got in your ass. I mean, doesn't it sound like something you get in your ass?
That's hemorrhoids.
That's aluminum siding.
But no, I got shingles. Oh, really? Is your ass hurting? I mean, I didn't know it was like, and plus the fact you had to have had mumps, right?
Chickenpox.
Chickenpox. Yeah. And I never had chickenpox.
I never had chickenpox.
It turns out that I had a girlfriend who at 23 came down with chickenpox. And she said, "Well, you're going to get it for sure if you've never had it before." And I never got it from her.
Yeah.
And it was suddenly,
as an adult, chickenpox is really dangerous.
Well, they supposed that what I got was that I had it when I was a kid, but it was such a light passing dose of it. We thought it was something else. And I never knew that I had chickenpox.
Right.
Because how could I get shingles if I didn't have chickenpox?
So did you get the shingles vaccine?
I get it now. Yeah, I get it now. Yeah.
So the one that they had for like 10 years, you got one injection and it protected you about 50%. The newest one called Shingrix, you get 2 injections, one and then one 4 or 5 months
I got
later.
2. I got 2.
Right. And that came out in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got my second dose, I don't know, 4 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And it made me feel a little icky, but I'd rather feel icky than get shingles. And the newer one is the Shingrix that you get 2 injections is over 90% effective. So
good.
Yeah,
Good.
I figured I don't want to get it.
No. And when I had it on my eye, he told me if I had waited a couple more days, I could have gone blind.
Yep.
From it. Remember when Letterman was off for about 3 or 4 weeks? He had shingles. And I think Shecky told me the reason he didn't come back for that many weeks is he just didn't want people to see him with the shingles at all. He had the same thing I had around his eye.
Wow.
And it's not very attractive. You know. But anyway, so I'm glad to see that John at least is feeling better,
Yeah.
And it'll clear up,
Hey, Alex, what was that documentary you were talking about to Phil?
It was a documentary on Roger Ailes. It's on
Oh,
Hulu.
okay.
Just
On
type
Hulu?
in Roger Ailes, Ailes, and it'll come up.
Okay.
It's really, I love documentaries. And what I hate are bad documentaries. And most documentaries are kind of bad because of the way they're structured or whatever. This thing just grabs you from the beginning and just drags you through this guy's tawdry, horrible life. There was nothing. There was nothing redeemable about this human being. Nothing at all. Zero. And you wonder how people can live with themselves being that evil. The man was purely evil.
We got somebody just like that in the White House right now.
And forget the fact that he started Fox and that he was the head of Fox News and what Fox News represented. If he was still a decent guy and did that, and he could be a decent guy and do that, then okay, that's one thing. But we're not talking about a decent guy here. We're talking about the way he ran the plant, and the advantage he took of women. It was just disgusting.
You're not talking about Trump?
Well, he was a Trump supporter, and he was close friends with Trump, and they talk about Trump sending him to certain lawyers when he needed them, one of them being Rudy Giuliani, who married Roger Ailes. He was the officiating at Roger Ailes' wedding. So it's really, And then I watched the movie. After that, I decided I'd watch Bombshell, the movie they made about all of that. And it absolutely mirrors the documentary. There is just stuff that is absolutely true. In both the movie and the documentary. It was just fascinating. Just fascinating. But if you get a chance, it's...
Ailes worked for Nixon at some point, didn't he?
Did he work for Nixon? Yes. He in fact, he met Nixon when he was executive producing the Mike Douglas show on Westinghouse. And he was a guest on the show, and after the show, he cornered him and told him, what you need is a media consultant. He said, what's a media consultant? He said, it's a term I just made up for me.
Wow.
And Nixon hired him to be his media consultant, so he quit the Mike Douglas show and created Nixon's path to winning the election.
Wow.
All those town halls and everything that Nixon did. And then he's the guy that came up with, he was involved in the Willie Horton ads and so on that came out. He was he was a slimy little bastard, I'm telling you. And then he started a talk network at NBC called America's Talking, and when they saw that they could make money off a cable channel, they said, fuck this, we'll start our own. And they went out and partnered up with Bill Gates, and they started MSNBC and threw him out the door. So he said, they're going to live to rue the day they did this. And he went over and talked to Rupert Murdoch and started Fox, and Fox beat the crap out of MSNBC, CNN, and all of them. But did you hear the recent news about Fox? That they got beaten out in the ratings by Newsmax?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Newsmax is dinky TV.
Kind of scary too. They're crazy.
Yeah, it is scary.
Oh, if you watch Newsmax, you'll love Fox.
Yeah.
because Fox suddenly looks good.
It looks moderate.
Yeah, it looks moderate.
Yeah.
And it's kind of getting moderate because they had a thing on, what was it, with Brett Baer, and there's Noah Hall, not Noah Hawley. I keep thinking of the guy who did.
Guy Hawley.
What's his name? First name is Doug Hawley. Is it? I can't remember.
Like Josh Hawley?
Josh Hawley. That's it.
Yeah.
I get it mixed up with Noah Hawley, who's like the writer and producer of shows like Fargo and Legion and so on. But anyway, Noah Hawley. There I go again. Josh Hawley, who is an absolute asshole.
Yeah, he's a fucker.
Hmm?
Fuckhead.
Oh yeah, he's terrible. He's just terrible.
Probably a Republican.
Huh?
Probably a Republican.
Well, it's not a matter that he's a Republican. I mean, he's a guy who ran for senator, won, got into office, and within the first couple of years felt, well, I guess I can run for president. So now he's doing everything to get, to coddle Trump's base, which is kind of a stupid thing to go do because Trump has a base right now. Yeah. But when he's out of office for a couple of years, there's not going to be a base there anymore. Okay? They're going to find some other nutcase to follow,
That's kind of dangerous, though. It could be a nutcase who's smarter than Trump.
Well, I was talking to Phil about Josh Hawley, and he's claiming that Antifa came to his house and protested. These were just protesters. We're protesting Hawley because he's one of the guys who's trying to subvert the will of the American people by, trying to do a no, what's the word I'm looking for here? To make a problem out of tomorrow's electoral voting, which is really a strange situation because how many of you ever knew when the Congress had a vote on, counted up the electoral votes and made them official? We never cared. They just did it.
It never was. It was hardly ever even covered in the news.
Yeah, I mean, you've never seen tomorrow. They've got all the networks have got reporters there, and they're going to be doing wall-to-wall coverage of the counting of the votes, and I'm going, geez, this is crazy. And then Trump thinks he's going to get Pence to throw a wrench into the whole thing, and somebody once said that all Pence is there for is he's the MC.
Yeah.
He's the master of ceremonies.
Yeah.
And he's hosting the Oscars.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say who's going to win an Oscar and who doesn't win an Oscar. He just says, okay, how many votes from New York? Okay, count those. There's nothing he can do.
I love Phil and other right-wingers who create these false equivalencies. You've got a president who's leaning on state officials to turn votes around, and Republicans come out with, oh, well, back in third grade, he punched him in the arm. It's not an equivalency that somebody protested outside the guy's house. Don't make it seem like it's, well, you do it too. Come on. You're talking about somebody that's outwardly breaking the fucking law. And yet they try to create these, oh, well, Biden once, made money and nobody knows where from. Jesus.
Well, go out and make a case out of that at some other point, but that doesn't make you right.
Geez, just, wake up.
Yeah, I mean, they go, well, Trump is trying to subvert the vote of the American people, and then they come out with, yeah, but what about Hunter Biden?
Yeah.
What about Hunter Biden? What about Hunter Biden? I mean, come on. Do you think there's anything in the Hunter Biden story?
No. Not really.
You don't. Is it because you don't want to, or because you genuinely don't think there is?
I mean, the guy's a drug addict. He had a drug problem, but he's trying to clean up. I mean, but he's not running for any office. He's not even involved with his dad's office, and all this bullshit about this deal in China. It's all bullshit. There's no evidence of anything. They just pick up some guy off the wall, that says, "Oh, I was there," and fuck. Because this guy's.
You know what it tells me? You know what it tells me?
What?
It tells me how clean Joe is. That's what it tells me.
Yeah.
In what respect? How do you?
Well, stop and think about it, Alex. If they have to make a big deal about the guy's son, then
They haven't got anything on him.
Yeah, they ain't got anything on him. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
Well, they're trying to say, well, didn't he make money off his son's blah 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 blah?
Like this has never happened before.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a break.
Warnock just pulled ahead.
Yes, he did.
And
Ossoff's down 2,000.
Literally tied.
What?
They're literally Ossoff is literally tied right now.
Yeah, right.
And Warnock pulled ahead.
DeKalb County's coming in.
Yeah, DeKalb. That's really a lot of people, and it's all blue.
Well, it'd be nice if we could win we wouldn't win the Senate. But who, by the way, I was saying about this the other day. If it comes out that we have 50 senators on each side, who becomes the majority leader? Huh?
Schumer.
Schumer becomes. But how can he be called the majority leader if we don't have the majority? We don't have the minority either.
Because the vice president breaks ties. That gives us the majority.
So Schumer would then become.
I'm buying Kamala Harris a nice cushion for that seat in the Senate.
Yeah.
Get comfortable here, darling, because we're going to need you every once in a while to raise your hand.
We're going to need you about every Thursday. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, which I don't think she'd mind.
No, at least she'd have something to do.
Yeah. Because most vice presidents don't do much of anything, do they?
They go to funerals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Biden, when he was vice president, advised the president. He was there on every major decision. So, at least
I've told this before, but the old joke is there were two brothers. One ran away to sea, and the other became vice president, and neither one was heard from again.
Yeah.
This guy is watching Fox last night when Trump was doing his speech, and this guy, I think his name's Mike Hegswith or something like that. Hegswith.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a Fox commentator, and he goes, "The United States doesn't deserve Donald Trump as president."
You're damn right.
Yeah, I agree.
You're damn right. We don't deserve him.
Yeah,
we didn't deserve him the last 4 years either.
Yeah, right.
Well, Purdue's right now has 52.2%, and Ossoff has 49.8%. And it's 95% in on that.
Not good.
Wow.
Not good.
That's not good at all.
No, but we don't know where the other 5% are going to go. The other 5% could take it right over the top for Ossoff, but we don't know.
He doesn't win. We're not going to get anything done.
Would this, if it's that close, would it call for another runoff?
No.
They call for a recount.
Yeah, recount, but that's why there's only two people. So it can't be, somebody's going to get 50%.
Yeah, somebody, yeah. Ossoff's got 51%. So let's see.
Well, the Republicans already have 50%. All they need is one of the two of them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's 48 to 50.
Warnock is ahead. He's ahead by about 20,000 votes, 120,000. No, 20,000 votes. Yeah. He's got 50.2%. She's got the rest, I guess.
It's so depressing that because Loeffler is such a horrible person, and
asshole.
He's barely going to inch ahead of her. Jeez.
Well, better than being behind.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's still depressing.
It only takes one vote to win.
Yeah.
One vote over.
Yeah. Well, we'll see here.
I guess what I don't get is if the presidential election was a mess and illegal, why is this legal?
Well, they have to see if they win first.
Oh, what I don't see is how if the presidential election was defrauded, then how come all the Senate and House elections weren't defrauded? Why don't we throw those out too?
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
That's next.
Well, I mean, I still think the Senate is up for play anyway, because you've got a guy now in Biden who was a senator. He was part of the club and knows how to play them. And you look like you don't agree with me, Robert.
I don't. He's going to struggle with his cabinet, where if it's 50-50, he can basically push his cabinet forward and they'll be approved.
Yeah.
He also is going to struggle with the fact that whenever things come to a close vote, he immediately has to find a Republican that's willing to come over. And that's always going to be a problem for those that are going to vote party line. And chairmanships also are at stake. You've got chairmen of various committees that are at stake.
Yeah.
And so a lot is swinging on tonight.
I'm going to admit.
Yeah, he'll never get a judge appointed.
Nope.
McConnell will never allow any judge, federal judge or Supreme Court justice to be appointed.
No.
He'll just.
Maybe we'll get lucky and McConnell will have a heart attack.
Well, I mean, if worse comes to worse, another 2 years, we can probably pick up a few seats, hopefully, so.
Well, then the Republicans are going to say Biden didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But of course he didn't do anything because you didn't let him do anything.
Historically, the party that's out of presidential power picks up seats in the off year's election.
Yeah, this was the year they should have picked up seats, is because
Exactly.
the Republicans had 24 seats up.
Yeah.
I'm going to let somebody in here because I had him on the other day and it wasn't, well, he's gone now. So it wasn't a problem. It's our friend from Norway. Who usually I haven't let on because he always has technical problems and you can never hear him and so on. And the other day he called and he was fine. So, But anyway, before we go any further, it's the first of the year and we could not come on the first of the year without hearing from Dr. Doom, Charlie Wallace, with his daily COVID report.
Yeah, we had another single-day record for COVID deaths, 3,936 today.
That's in the country,
Almost
right?
4,000 deaths.
And how about in Texas?
In Texas, we had over 32,000 new infections, and we only had about 250 deaths.
Really?
California #1, baby.
Yeah, California's coming up strong.
New York,
we're starting to lead. We're starting to go away from the pack now.
The other day we had 170 deaths here, and then it went up to then it went down to 140 today. So
I heard that in Los Angeles they're actually rationing who gets oxygen. Did I hear?
Oxygen.
They're not only rationing who gets oxygen.
Yeah, those that they feel have little chance to survive, they're cutting back on the oxygen. It's like in effect.
They're letting them die.
Well,
There's your death panel.
What they're doing is they're deciding who has the least chance of survival, and they're not rushing them to LA hospitals.
Yep.
So basically, yes, you've got your death panels going on.
That's sad.
It is.
Yeah. Well, here
we're 100% full in our hospital beds in Texas.
Yep.
Don't get a heart attack.
Yeah.
No room for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
don't cut a finger badly.
Yeah.
In San Jose, at a Kaiser, you probably heard this news, Brian, that one of the employees came in one of these blow up clown suits that had air blowing through it to keep him looking like a clown. And then 45 doctors a week later came down with all of them tested positive with COVID. 45.
Oh my God.
Oh,
in the emergency room. Sorry. I forgot that.
Oh my God.
At Kaiser in San Jose.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Well, that's amazing. Well, let me see here. I just tried to bring in. He's not coming in. Okay, I'm not going to deal with
Here we
it.
go.
Oh, here we go.
Hi there.
Here comes Richard. Richard, turn on your microphone so we can hear you. You have to turn on your microphone. Richard's in Norway. Are you there? We can't hear you. Okay.
Microphone.
If I can't hear you soon, I'm getting rid of you. Okay. Your mic isn't on for some. There, no, your mic is off now. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have to put up with this. Okay, so I'll give you 5 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see here. How do I get rid of? Oh, there it is.
He's gone.
Well, he was gone anyway. So, yeah. I thought I would just try because his picture was coming in nicely and his audio this time wasn't coming through nicely.
Brian started this motion at 3 seconds. I mean, not Brian, but Robert.
No.
Robert.
Like
this at 3 seconds.
Countdown.
Yeah, the countdown.
Anyway, and I'm going to just remove him from the list here. Let me just do that. Yeah, we'll remove him. Okay.
Well, we don't want to get on his shit list.
What?
I said we don't want to get on your shit list.
No, it's not a matter of getting on my shit list. It's a matter of if I'm doing a show and I've got to spend 5 minutes trying to get somebody's thing to work.
I get it. I get it.
We got, you know, we're having a nice leisurely conversation here. You know,
because we all know each other.
Yeah. But anyway, anybody been watching anything good?
Oh, I started watching Flight Attendant.
Oh, it's terrible.
Max.
It's terrible.
Really? Yeah, I just started watching that one.
I wanted to really like it because I like her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not very good.
How about Undoing? Did you watch that? Undoing?
No, Marjorie did. She liked it.
I did.
Oh, yeah?
I thought it was lame.
Really?
That's one with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, I didn't buy it. I thought, I don't know. I just thought the whole thing. I knew I could tell he did it, you know, and I knew. Yeah, I don't know.
I saw the Bee Gees documentary. That was interesting.
I told you that was very good.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? The 1979 that concert in Oakland, they were saying that was the same day that the DJ blew all those disco records up. Actually, I was at that concert. My parents used to take me to concerts when I was really young. I have the program and my ticket still from that concert. So yeah.
I'll tell you, I watched that documentary. Both Marjorie and I watched it reluctantly. Okay. We put it on just because there was nothing left. Let's watch it. Let's see. Now, neither of us liked the Bee Gees. We thought they were just annoying. You know, really. Screaming and doing all of that. And we watched this thing. When it was through, we looked at each other and went, A, that was a good documentary. And secondly, they were better than we thought they were.
Yeah, a lot of that music from the 70s that was, you know, like Hall & Oates. If you liked Hall & Oates in the 70s, you weren't cool. But now when you listen to them, you go, hey, they were actually pretty good, you know?
They weren't that bad, yeah.
Where we were very close off to the side at Oakland Coliseum, and there was a girl, really cute blonde girl that was next to us, and my mom and dad started talking to her, and she said, oh, I just met Andy Gibb at Hawaii, and he said he's supposed to be here at this concert. And all of a sudden an usher came up and talked to her really quick and then took her away, and I guess she went backstage with him. So
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's probably just a hookup for him.
Did she come back?
Like women.
Did she come back going?
Yeah, she's rubbing her knees.
I knew him a bit because he would come to my show in New York often, and on a couple of occasions, not often. And I liked him. He was a nice kid, Andy Gibb. He was a nice kid. But anyway, what you saw in this documentary was, number one, you got to hear their music, and you got to see that they changed. They kept changing and adapting to the times. And we remember them mostly for the disco period because of, you know, Saturday Night Fever. But prior to that, they had any number of hits. And And afterwards, when they were no longer popular, because when they started doing the burning the records thing, it suddenly was such a backlash of their music that nobody wanted to play them or record them or anything. So what they did is, since they were great songwriters, they wrote songs for other people. And then they listed the songs that they wrote for other people, and you're going, my God, these are good songs. You know,
Yeah.
these are terrific.
And they're talking to the DJs. They were talking to the DJs that were just sick and tired because they were so successful. Because they had like 4 or 5 top songs on the top 20 or top 40, and they just kept playing Bee Gees songs all day because it was in their rotation so much.
Yeah,
different songs.
Well, I mean, they had it became overkill with the Bee Gees, and they fell out of favor, and they had several years where they were not popular, so they started writing for other people.
Yeah,
and Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton had a hit off of them, "Islands in the Stream" or something like that. And I mean, on and on, they started playing a lot of these songs that other people had recorded, and you're going, you know, these guys are really better than we thought they were. They were more talented than we gave them credit for. Because I just kind of ignored them as an annoyance when they were, you know, like I never worked at radio stations where they played them. You know, I was on progressive radio stations, and the Bee Gees were
You know, but their music was better than listening to Sean Cassidy or Leif Garrett, right?
That's a low bar.
Well, come on, you're hitting a low bar there.
Jesus Christ. They were also better than the 6-year-old that lives down the block.
Yeah.
So, Alex, do you know that you invented the Rickroll before there even was an internet? You remember Rick Astley, that song? Remember you used to play that song, you just play it for no reason?
I'm trying to remember what the song was, but I played it because I said, this morning, I hate the audience. And so I'm just going to play this song over and over again for a while. And I'm trying to remember what the song was now.
Never going to give you up.
Never going to give you up.
And then it became an internet meme called a Rickroll.
Yes. Yeah,
I noticed like a rash.
Did I call it a Rickroll?
It's like a it was like, I don't know, it was in the early days of the internet where you would click on something that you think you'd be going to something else, but you'd end up going to that video of that guy singing that song.
Yeah, you would send your friend a message and say, "Here, check out this new site that I like," and they would click, and it would be Rick Astley.
Yeah, that song. Some big DJs would play a song right when they get to the drop. They would play that. Never gonna give you up, and the whole crowd just died. It's so funny.
I always thought about you whenever I thought.
Was he the one that was on like General Hospital? No, who is this singer?
That was Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield.
Rick Astley.
Rick, huh?
Yeah, that's Rick Astley.
It's
Rick Springfield was on General Hospital.
Rick
Astley
was on General Hospital.
Yeah.
Different guys.
Yeah. I always hated people that had hit records because they had a hit TV show. You know,
Sean Cassidy.
Sean Cassidy, a good example. Cow Sills.
Partridge Family. God damn it.
Well, the Partridge Family were really the TV version of the Cow Sills.
Yeah,
the Cow Sills were their own group, you know.
Yeah, but a lot of those bands never played any of their own music. It was the Wrecking Crew that played on all those.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I was on TV with the Cow Sills in the '60s.
Hey,
you on TV with the Cow Sills?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's just like one of those academic shows, and they were the celebrity guests or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I was representing my high school.
And how was it academic? I mean,
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. This is back like in '66.
I mean, what was the show about? They came on and you asked them questions, or did they actually perform, or what?
No, they sang and they talked to us. I remember talking to them.
I saw a documentary once, a long time ago, on the Cow Sills, and how they came to be. I think they fell apart because the husband and wife had a falling out. something like that, right?
Yeah.
I
I
may
don't
be
remember.
I may be wrong about that. If so, they can sue me.
How about the Monkees?
Well, the Monkees were a strange situation. They were created because the Beatles, had their movies, and so they wanted to do a weekly TV show that was like that. So they went out and they hired some of the best people in the business and producers in the business to produce and write songs for them.
Their top song was written by Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond, yeah.
Neil Diamond.
Or how about
song.
their first hit was what? Pleasant Valley Sunday. What was it? What was the name of that?
I don't know
And
which
that
was
was
their
written by
first.
that was
Yeah, I
written
don't know.
by
That was before
that was
my
written by
time.
Carole King. They had people like Carole King writing for them. They had people like Neil Diamond writing for them. On and on and on. Then they got to a point where they learned to play their own instruments. One did play an instrument. Peter Tork, I think, played the guitar.
Mike Nesmith was a pretty talented guy. He actually went on to be a country western performer.
Yeah.
And did very well.
Yeah,
And
but
didn't his mom invent the Post-its or
Tork.
something?
no. It was what do you call it? The whiteout.
Whiteout, yeah.
Whiteout. Whiteout.
Yeah,
and that was
yeah.
that was a godsend for typists who would have white out there, and so they didn't have to go back and start the whole thing all over again, right?
Right.
And she made millions and millions off of whiteout, and he then inherited that. So he didn't even have to work, But by the end of it, they were writing and doing their own songs,
Are we still
George
talking
Barris.
about the Beatles?
Huh?
Are we talking about the Beatles or the Monkees?
The Monkees. The Monkees. Yeah.
Yeah. George Barris built that car. Their car.
Their car.
Out of a GTO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen it. I knew George was like in our, all the old timers for our car stuff. So.
Oh, well, also George Barris' most famous creation was the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, so I mean, the Monkees, by the time they started being good and doing stuff on their own, they were has-beens. Nobody wanted to hear from them anymore. So that was kind of sad for them. And then they did a movie. They did a movie called Head.
Yeah, that was directed by Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Was it directed by him? He was in it. I'm trying to remember if he directed that. He directed other films. I'm trying to remember if he
I think
directed.
he directed that.
Let me look it up here a second. But it was a very interesting movie in that. Oh, just stop. I don't want it. Oh, stop it. Stop it. I don't want anything here. It's not what I wanted. I didn't want a trailer for Batman. I wanted Head. Here we go. Head. Okay, there we go. Head, the head of the class, Daisy Head. What is it? Oh, come on. See, all results for Head. Let's see, blowjob. No. Where is it? Head. There we go. Here we go. Let's see here. Who was? No, Bob Rafelson was the director on that, but Jack Nicholson was in it, and I thought no, Jack Nicholson wrote it. That's what it was. Jack Nicholson wrote it. So
Porn.
Huh? What? What?
The name of it was Head, so it was porn.
Yeah. But
search that.
What was great about the movie is they decided the career of the Monkees was almost over, and so what did they do? What was the opening scene of the film? They kill off the Monkees. They have them all jump off a bridge together, and then they go back and do other stuff. And it was actually a very good, oddly enough, a very good film. But nobody went to see it because the Monkees were through by then.
Didn't the Monkees grow up and become Planet of the Apes?
Yes, they did. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Score one for him.
Hey, I was an extra in a movie once, since we're doing pop culture.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was. I was in high school, and they grabbed a bunch of high school kids from my neighborhood, and we were dragged over to 50 something and 10th Avenue to a high school, and we sat in an auditorium for a scene that took 9 hours to film for the movie Up the Down Staircase, starring Sandy Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
We were if you went to the movie theater, you saw us in the film, but if you watch it on TV or buy the DVD, we're cut out.
Wow.
So we got paid minimum wage, and I gotta tell you, it was the fucking most boring thing I've ever done in my life. Because they would suddenly announce we need a rewrite, and so you had to sit there for 3 hours.
Wow. Making a movie is like watching paint dry.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
no, it really is. People think that making a movie is the real art. The real art happens when they go into the editing room and they take all this stuff and they make it make sense. Okay, but filming, and Hitchcock always hated filming. He hated the process of filming. He said, "Well, I just need this shot. I need that shot." And it was just a matter of getting the bricks and mortar you needed.
The director, the scene was supposed to be, we were in the auditorium for an assembly because it was a school-based movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the director came out to us and said, "Here's the deal, kids. You're supposed to act bored." And we're all looking at him like, that ain't going to be acting, Jack.
Yeah, it's not acting. No. But here's the thing. The hard part about it is that when you say to people, I was in the up the down staircase, and then they go, "Where are you in the movie?" Well, I'm not in the movie.
Yeah, I can't prove it.
So nobody believes you.
Right.
Here's what there were a couple of things that I always wanted to be in movies. That's why I got into radio. I thought if I did radio enough, somebody would ask me to be in a movie, and then I could start being an actor. Okay? Nobody ever asked me to be in a movie. Nobody. Okay? Except once I get a call saying, "Do you mind if we use audio from your radio show?" And I was in that first movie that George Clooney did, One Fine Day. And I'm in One Fine Day.
Your voice.
Oh, boy.
He wakes up in the morning, and guess who's on his radio?
Wow.
Me.
Wow.
But it's strange because it's so low in the background. You hear me for the first couple of seconds that they have a shot of the radio, and then it goes into the background. So if you've got surround sound and you cut off your front speakers, you can hear me clearly.
Hold on. I have a pal who...
A friend.
The movie. Okay, I got it.
Now, here's the one that nobody ever believes on me. When I was in San Francisco, I got called over by a group of people called Video West. And they said, "We've been hired by this new organization, and we've got to do news items, news pieces for this. And it's a rock music channel. It's going to be called MTV.
Wow.
And we'd like to have you come in and do the announcing on some of these pieces." So now, cut to a couple of months later, about a year later, not a year later, about a half a year later, they decide they're going to have a big, MTV is going to have a big party in San Jose because it was the only cable channel that was going to be carrying MTV. And so they brought everybody into this room and they said, "And here's our promo reel for MTV." And then I can't remember what her name was, introduces me and says, "Here's Alex Bennett with our report from Hollywood."
Nina Blackwood.
Nina Blackwood. Now, I went in, I had done that like 4 months before.
Yes.
And I had forgotten completely that I had done it. And when they say, "Alex Bennett, here's MTV's Alex Bennett with blah, blah, blah," everybody stares at me. And they go, "You're going to be you're on MTV?" I said, "I guess I am now." And then they called me in to do more of them. And for a year, I was on MTV. But MTV, if you go on YouTube there's actually things of MTV's first day, and I was on that first day. One of my reports is on that first day, and but about a year later they stopped doing our news reports, and they also at the same time got a place on cable in San Francisco. And to that day, nobody believed I was on MTV. But I was on MTV from day one.
I'm impressed.
I got paid $25 a shot.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I did that nobody believes I ever did, was MTV. But that was when they went on and they actually played music.
Yeah.
It's upon the time.
Yeah, now they just take pregnant women and do a series on them. So, Mr. Neary, how is your family doing through this whole COVID thing? Because you're the one here of all the people, I think, in this group who actually has children and has to deal with this on a very real day-to-day basis.
Yeah, they just they just started today. They just came back for the next semester. So they did send out a message to us because of Gavin Newsom's thingy. I mean, we're not going to have school all year. They keep trying to update all the time, but you just know the whole year will be virtual learning. Yeah. So they're doing good. I mean, yeah.
But do you worry about, for instance, the little one, Adrian? She isn't getting that socialization that kids get when they go to school. And this is probably her first year even going to school, right?
Yeah. Yeah, pre-kindergarten. So, so it's the first one. So she talks to them online, but, the whole thing of seeing them and hanging out with them and talking with them, that's the big thing. Because we've been really tight. Even when they loosened up restrictions, we were only going out on Saturdays for lunch. And, I mean, we're very strict on masks. So, I mean, if we caught it somehow, we would know how. But there's,
Are there people still in California who don't wear masks?
Yeah, I mean, walking around a little bit, but everybody stays. But the big thing is like the car wash is open. And how do we? When we had the first lockdown in March, everything was closed. I would go out there and there'd be no traffic because we're essential workers. So
I remember that.
No traffic. And now we're locked down again with worse numbers. And like Charlie, like we're saying, I mean, California is really bad right now, especially Southern California, but same as Northern California. And these other places are still open. And they're, they monitor how many people are coming in and that stuff. But still, there's still people inside. They're all wearing masks. Yes, I think it seemed to me, I see a lot of masks, but I can't believe that a lot of these businesses are still open. And I know people have to make a living.
Is it so important that you clean your car? I mean, that the public health be damned. We're going to let you clean your car.
Where are you going anyway?
Yeah.
So we need to get serious. We had lockdown before. We really need that kind of lockdown to get control. And everyone's just cruising through thinking this vaccine is going to be the savior and we're going to get it next month. And that's not right. We're not going to.
Hey, at the rate we're going, we're going to be lucky if we all get vaccinated within 2 years. Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah, when I get my car cleaned, I never get out of my car.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just drive through the thing and the water comes on, all that stuff. You never get exposed to anything.
Yeah. They have the other one where you can go exterior only, or they have the one that you get out and they do the vacuuming and everything.
I don't know if I could. My feeling is though that if I were living in California right now, the last thing I'd be worried about is my car being dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see guys playing basketball over here with no masks. I see tennis over here. They have some kind of thing because they had a group there with a tent thing, and there are a bunch of people over there. And I'm just,
what I don't get. Here's the part that I don't get. What we do is we have the thing where they put up these sheds in front of restaurants that are out in the street, so they don't have to do indoor dining, but they're all covered and enclosed.
Yeah. I know, it's indoor.
And I'm going,
what's the
that's
difference?
Stupid.
Yeah.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
You know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I heard an interview with Chris Hayes and Fauci tonight, and Fauci was saying that he believes that there can be a return to some kind of normalcy by the third quarter of 2021. Now, when we heard that, the reaction from my wife and I was, oh, that's great. But then we stopped and thought, if we'd have known that back last March, that it was going to be a year and a half of being cooped up, we just shit our pants. You know, like, it's funny how your expectations change over time.
For sure.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that that we're, you know, that we're kind of okay here in New York. We're better than a lot of other places, but that death rate is going up, and we got our first case of the new and improved COVID. You know, COVID 2.0. You know, we had a couple of cases upstate, and they're jumping on those really fast because they'd like to stomp them out. But, you know, it just, if everybody would have, for instance, in California, worn a mask, and they still go out and...
It's the gatherings. It's the gatherings.
They
You
go
see the
out and
spikes after Thanksgiving. You see the spike. Christmas time is starting to happen right now. And then the New Year's. I know a lot of people that were together New Year's. I know friends.
New Year's Eve.
Tiffany's friends are still traveling. They're still taking pictures on Facebook. Places.
Well, you know, we had a little party here on Gabnet, and that was it. You know, I wasn't going to go out, but I just, it's insane. And I walked down the street today, and I mean, I can't tell you the number of people not wearing masks, and I'm going, don't you know what's going on? You know, don't you know what's going on? And it's almost like I want to go up to people and say, you're not wearing a mask. Why is that? You don't respect me? You know, I respect you. I'm wearing one. You know, it's all about respect. I think it's all about stuff that America has forgotten how to do. And that's be civil with each other.
With this new variant, if Joe is in a position where he has to do what Boris Johnson did, there's going to be political backlash toward Joe. It's going to suddenly become Joe's fault. You know, in the meantime, it wasn't Joe's fault at all. If this was properly handled back then, you know, we wouldn't be in these shoes.
And Trump might have won.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. I have to text. I don't even have my text here. Hold on a second.
Hold on a second.
Thank you.
We'll just go ahead and talk around you.
No, thank you, Jack. Let me see here.
Jack will just come on.
It says, what is the Skype password? I think, hold on a second. Oh, boy.
Password.
What are you talking
about? That's his password.
Jack, don't you write these things down, Jack?
Oh, that's Jack. That is Jack. Oh, no. Tell him we're going to talk for another hour.
Okay.
Tell him he lost his spot.
Okay. Yeah. Right. We're just
so
going to...
What does the runoff look like right now? The runoff looks like right now, 98%, right?
Purdue's up by 1,000.
How many?
Oh, boy, that looks bad.
Yeah, it's almost... Purdue and Ossoff are almost tied, and Warnock's up by about 30,000.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Hold on a second. I can't...
Warnock's going to win, and okay. I think Ossoff could win. So close.
I think they ought to do a recount.
Yeah, big deal, but it's going to be close. It is close. Look at that.
Biden just needs to call them and ask for another 11,000 more votes to find them somewhere. That's all.
My friend put up that she called the bank and said she needs them to find $11,780. She's sure they miscounted.
Somebody posted that. I saw that too. Yeah. I said the problem is we need $7 million more dollars.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
7 million votes.
Well, I just sent Jack the Skype password. How do I know the Skype password? I haven't used Skype in years now. But anyway, and Jack, write it down this time. Okay. All right. Hey, listen, thanks everybody. This has been nice. Just nice and easy and, you know, easy peasy. Thank you, Brian, for being with us this evening. And thanks to you, Alan. Good having you back here. And Charlie Wallace, great having you here. Robert, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Jeff Stein. And, of course, it's nice to see that John Larkin is slowly on the mend. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye to you as well. Okay, there we go. There they go.
Bye,
That's our
guys.
citizen panel. Let me just get rid of them unceremoniously. Listen, Jack Bishop will be here next with the proper password, and he'll be doing Skype, so you can call him at Gabnet Live. We'll be back again tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. There's our sports show, okay? And then tomorrow night at 10:30, I'll be back again. Same time, same station, live. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.